How y'all doing today? Man, listen, we got a little podcast going. Shit, it took us a little minute to get this shit up and running. Y'all got to excuse the technical difficulties. Your boys getting everything figured out. So anyway, so tonight we're gonna be doing a podcast, pretty much based on me and my brother. So basically, what we're doing is, we're talking about brotherhood, grief, family legacy, rebuilding our bond after losing both our parents, right? All right, so a lot of these questions are going to be like, childhood, how we grew up, as well as how we making our bond stronger since we lost our mom in 2022. So it's kind of going to be centered around that. You see my brother, give him a shout out.
How everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody doing good tonight.
All right, yeah, that's Big Bro. All right, so we're gonna try to get it queued up, and get it rolling, man. So listen, if y'all, if you see it's some mic issues, man, y'all tap in and let me know. I'm really trying to critique the sound and everything. All right, how we doing over there?
I don't even know where it's at then, because I don't see the link on your pinky. I'm so serious. Because I'm sitting here like, where is it at? You don't have it on your main Facebook. You got your own stuff up there. You got to put the one from tonight on there, bro.
It's already on it.
No, it's not. It was you talking about football. Was the last one you posted.
Yeah, so we trying to make sure that the sound right. All right. We trying to make sure that the sound right. And
okay.
Talk, bro.
It's ready.
Talk, bro.
What's going on, people? So you can hear me? Can you hear me now?
We good. All right. Sorry, y'all. We was trying to cue up the sound. Here we go. All right. So I always try to start it out with a little, a little background. A little something. So, all right. So here we go. All right, we're gonna start. All right. So this Dolla Chronicles coming to y'all from DollaZone Entertainment Live. Okay. And so the title of our theme tonight is All We Got Is Us. Okay. So I'm gonna ask some questions. He gonna answer first, and then I'm gonna answer second. And then we're just gonna kind of feedback off each other like that, right? All right. Hey, shout out to the 601-39355, all my Mississippi people, man. Make sure y'all get in there, man. Give your boy a like. Follow me. My professional page is DollaZone on Facebook, YouTube Journey 26. So y'all tap in, man, and follow. All right. So first question. So first question is, when Dad passed away at 43, what do you remember about that time, and how do you think it changed you as a young man?
Well, what I remember about that time is me and Stanley and Pony and Miyako at the time, we were staying on Jefferson Street, and Pony received a call from my cousin Ken about, our dad had passed away. I guess you remember the look on Pony's face when he looked at me. And I was kind of like, what's going on, cuz? Like, what's wrong? And that's when we heard that Dad had passed away. And we drove downtown on Catherine Street, and I went in the basement. And my Uncle Rock at the time didn't want me to go down there to see my dad, but I seen my dad. He was on the ground, laying with his head up in the air, and he was just cold. That was my first time feeling an actual dead body, and the coroners and stuff was down there, and they put him on the stretcher and brought him outside, and I was trying to help, and my uncle didn't want me to help because he didn't want me to see it. He didn't want me to see it, but so I ended up coming outside, and you know, on the sidewalk, talking to my cousin Don, and everybody was giving me hugs and stuff, and it was just a traumatizing time, you know. It was just traumatizing to lose your dad at an early age like that.
All right. So the second part of the question is, how do you think that changed you as a young man?
As a young man, that made me real scared because that was in my 20s. I was like 21. So all the years after that, I was scared to turn 43. I didn't even want to be here for real, you know. It was scary. It was difficult. I thought the same thing was gonna happen to me, but you know, the Lord knows when we're gonna leave this earth, and He know it before you do. So
True. So for me, Dad died at 43. So just give you my snippet was, so I was in class. I was at Grand Valley. So everybody know, you know what I'm saying, I'm pretty big. You know, I was big in football and all that stuff. So I was at Grand Valley my sophomore year. Yep, my sophomore year. I did my freshman year in Northwood. I transferred to Grand Valley. So I was at Grand Valley in Mackinac Hall, and I was sitting in class, right? I was sitting in like one of the math classes. So I'm sitting in class, and you know, this one we still had the flip phones. So I had like the little flip phone. I thought I was the shit. So basically, I'm sitting in class. My mama blowing my phone up, and I'm just like, shit, I'm in class. So I'm like, and I knew my mama was in Grand Rapids because she was with Aunt Patty at the time. So mama was in Grand Rapids with Aunt Patty, chilling with Aunt Patty. So I'm like, okay, she calling, right? So I call her back when I get time. So man, not even 5 minutes later, we get a knock at the classroom door. My mama done called the dean, the dean of the college. She's called them, told them the situation. They come pull me out of class like, you got to call your mom right now. It's like serious. All I can think about was something happening to my mama. So I'm like, I instantly start crying, going ballistic, right? So I get on the phone. My mom on the phone. She hysterical. She just shaking. I mean, I could tell she was shaking. She was crying, and she was like, "They need you to come home right now." I'm like, "For what? Why did you come home?" I said, "I got like 3 more classes. I still got football practice." You know, it was winter conditions, so we had, you know, we was lifting weights at the time. So you know, you gotta, when you play college ball, you can't just leave and shit. You know what I'm saying? You on scholarship and shit. You got to do what they tell you to do. So anyway. So finally she tells me, because I was like, I'm not, mama, I got to do what I got to do here, then I'll be home. I said, you in Roberts anyway. So she tells me, no, she said, they just found your daddy dead in the basement. And I just like went like, everything went black. She was like, you want me to send Uncle Willie, somebody come get you? I'm like, no, I don't think so. I think I was able to drive. I know it was a time where I wasn't able to drive. One of the times Uncle Willie ended up coming to get me or something. But at that time, I drove. From what I remember, I drove on. I had the black Intrepid. That my daddy had bought me the year before with the big pipes on it. Everybody didn't know me. I had the blacked out, smoked out black Intrepid. So, drove home. So I get there. Everybody sitting outside. Big mama in the house. I'm just like, man. In my mind, I'm like, you know, my daddy's Superman. He ain't dead. And so behold, until I seen my brother's face, until he told me what happened and told me how he had to help pick him up and all other stuff, that's when the shit hit me, right? And that's when I knew at 19 that my daddy was gone. And so that's that piece. Now, how did that affect me and change me as a young man? I wasn't. Listen, when I got in relationships, you gotta understand, when you 19, like, yeah, we had our daddy our whole life, right? From birth to then. But, you know, I'm 43 now. My daddy died when he was 43. So much stuff I learned from 20 19 to 43, I ain't even gonna say 43, but just from 19 to like 24, like the different stuff that you do, that you need your parents for, especially, you know, your father, man, you know, just teach you how to be a man. Not saying he didn't, but it was certain stuff that we went through at that time that we had to play catch up and learn on our own. So just even being in relationships with women, me and my brother, I feel like we were just behind the ball, right? And just the way it was. You know, we knew how to be good fathers, right? Even dealing with our anger, like we had issues dealing with our anger. You know, just traumatic shit that, you know, that okay, if my daddy was there, when shit popped off when I was 20 something, if my daddy was there, you know, it would have been different. Like I know how he would have responded to some shit. And then you gotta understand the traumatic part for me is like our dad never got to see any of his grandkids. So if anything, that hurt me more than anything. Like he got 6 grandkids. They've never got to meet their grandfather. All of them have met our mom before she passed. So that's my take, and I know that's long-winded. We're gonna go to question number 2. So looking back at what lessons from mom and dad do you still carry with you today, even if you don't realize it at times?
Well, for my mama, I know that when I'm sitting at a table, you better not never sing, or you better not never try to sing or do nothing. You just better eat and sit there.
Right. That's right.
Number 2 is every Saturday morning, Mama would wake us up with blues. This was from Michigan all the way to Mississippi. So we knew when the blues came on, we better be up out the bed. Because if you wasn't out the bed,
Saturday blues mean you had to do what?
Clean up.
Clean up.
You gonna get up every Saturday. No matter if she wanted you to wash clothes, wash the walls, mop the floor, just cut the grass.
You're gonna get your ass up.
You're gonna get up, because, you know, with us growing up in Mississippi, we didn't know how to cut grass for real. But I learned real fast.
Yeah.
Because I got a whooping where I learned.
Yeah, motherfuckers used to make fun of us.
Yep.
Even our family, our uncle used to make fun of us and shit.
Yep. And we got a whooping behind that. But
yeah, real talk.
But after I got that whooping, I said I wasn't getting no more for not knowing how to cut no grass. And I went out and bought me a lawnmower and cut grass. But my brother wasn't too, he didn't want to do too much of that. So one whole summer I cut grass by myself, but my mama made me give him half of the money because she said, and my mistake, I said I bought the lawnmower, she bought the lawnmower. She said I bought that for you and your brother. So at that time I was like, well, why I got to cut all the grass and he ain't got to do nothing? He ain't doing nothing. I got to give him half of the money. I didn't think that was right, but that was a lesson taught to me. Another thing from my mom, you know, she talked to me about going to church. My mom never really went to church with me, but I used to always go to church every Sunday. From a junior steward all the way up, 8, 9, 10 years old, I'd be the first one. I'd beat the pastor there. I unlock the church for them, make sure they had waters and stuff. I learned a lot from my mom. I learned yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, and I still do it to this day. I don't have any tattoos. I don't have any piercings. I couldn't have that when I was staying with my mama, and I still don't have them. But my brother showing you that he got one.
Oh shit, wrong one.
From my dad, I learned how to always keep a job. All my uncles always worked. You know, we all have our vices, but everybody always had a job, and they took care of their stuff.
Amen.
So even after my dad passed, I have my uncles right in my corner. My Uncle Pluto, my Uncle Rock, my Uncle Monk, all of them. Before my Uncle Wilson passed, you know, in '95, he was like a father to me too. Yeah, I remember Uncle Wilson caught your ass. You got lost coming out of loft, coming out the back way. And Uncle Wilson found your ass. I was walking the little girl home from school, and we stayed on. We were staying on. I want to say 5th. No, we weren't staying on 5th Street. We was on Park Street, I think. Yeah, we was staying on Park. I was supposed to be walking to the south side. We was on the south side. We was on Park, off Broadway. And I was way on the west side. And I happened to see this burgundy car with a white top. Pulled over. He said, "Man, what's your name?" I remember that car too. And I said, "My name's Spinarly." He said, "Your daddy named Fat Man?" And I said, "Yes, sir." He said, I'm your Uncle Wilson. That was my first time meeting him. Drove me home, and I got whooped from here to Texas.
Right.
I didn't do that no more.
So, I guess for me, looking back from my mama, I think the biggest thing was my mama had the mouth of gab. I mean, she could talk some shit, and I think I got that from my mama. I can talk shit with the best of them. So my mama had that, right? A lot of other things, but that's just something that stick out, right? That I carry with me. And as far as my daddy, man, my daddy didn't take no shit. So, like, persona as a kid going through your head, like, saying my daddy don't take no shit, I ain't taking no shit either. Now, that can be good, that can be, positive and negative. And I think in my life it has affected me positive and negative until I became of a certain age and I realized, like, everything ain't got to be a confrontation. Not that he was a confrontational dude, he just wasn't going to take shit off of nobody, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't going to let nobody mess with the people around him. Now, that's one thing that I know I got big from him, and everybody can contest to that my people, I don't let nobody, I don't want nobody messing with my people. None of my family, so, I'm big on that. All right, we're going to go to question number 3. Here we go. We both experienced some losses, but in what ways do you think we handle the grief differently?
Well, I think when Dad passed, you and Dad was close, but me and him was like this.
Yeah, y'all definitely was tight for sure.
He taught me. I'm just gonna say, my daddy taught me the street life. I was always with my daddy. My brother wasn't never out there like that with us.
Right.
True. My daddy used to carry me around everywhere. I mean everywhere. I don't care where it was at. I was always with it. I appreciate him for that. I'm showing me the difference between good and bad, and who to mess with or who not to mess with. If I need help, or who to call, like family. If I ever get into like a situation where I got to call some family that I know that's gonna be there, I had all of that. So.
I think for me, I used to have a little mean streak in me. So I think for me, when losing daddy, I couldn't function for a long time. Like I know I can recall at the funeral, I think I spazzed out.
Yeah, I ain't even answer the question for real, but yeah.
Go ahead.
Nah, you did though. I took my daddy's funeral more calmer. Like I didn't cry or nothing, because we was close like that. But my brother, on the other hand, we was at Toombs funeral home, and he, Mr. Toombs was still living at the time, and he had punched the wall, knocked the drywall out. And Mr. Toombs came to me, he said, don't worry about it. He said, I'll get it fixed, because he knew that we was for one grieving.
Right.
My brother took it harder for my daddy more than I did. Now when he came to my mama, him and my mama was real close. When my mama passed away in 2022, you couldn't tell me nothing. I ain't want nobody to touch me. I ain't want nobody to talk to me, nothing. I was 40 years old, lost both of my parents. I still, to this day, it's like I can't figure out some things, but I'm working on it,
Right.
One day at a time.
Yeah, I think, like I was saying, like with daddy, like it was, like I said, that was Superman. So you lose your Superman, it's like that kryptonite gone. So you feel like you don't got that shield no more. And I'm just gonna keep it real. When daddy was gone, it was certain people in the family that thought, was thinking like I was like, I don't know what the perception was, but it was like, oh, he think he better than us, and yada yada yada. And I don't know where all that bullshit came from. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I wasn't backing down though. So yeah, I said some shit, got into it with some people, and I just went with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I just lost my daddy. I ain't trying nobody trying to hear that shit. So yeah, so I was angry for a long time. I'm talking about a long time. 10, 15 years until I just you gotta let that shit go. The other part, I think when Mama passed, I don't know, man. Like when Mama passed, it's like we lost the big mama of the family.
Right, she was one held everything together.
So yeah, the loss. I mean, the losses were both losses. But at that time, man, I was just like, I don't know. Like for me, I was like, you know what? I gotta straighten my shit up. I gotta get right with my brother. Not that we was on bad terms, but like, you know what I'm saying, just distance and not communicating. Like we see some of my other cousins do. So that was a piece for me. Number 4, do you think losing both our parents changed our relationship as brothers? If so, how?
No, I don't think it changed us as brothers. I think if anything, it made us stronger.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say too. Like that's a
To
question.
sum it up.
Yeah, we ain't gotta elaborate much on that. Yeah, it made us stronger. Definitely made us tougher together. So we're gonna go to number 5. What are some of your favorite memories growing up between Muskegon, Michigan, and Quitman, Mississippi? Q time, baby. 601 231. Oh shit. 601. Hey, hold on. 601.
That's Mississippi.
Listen, I'm tripping. That's how much we grew up in both places. 601 Mississippi. 231 616 is Michigan. 49444 is the heights. That's Muskegon. And then zip code for Mississippi is 39355.
What was the question again?
So the question was, what are some of your favorite memories from growing up between Muskegon, Michigan, and Quitman, Mississippi?
My favorite memories from growing up in Muskegon. Well, you know, we left when we left when I was going on my way to 3rd grade. My brother was on his way to 2nd grade. We was born in Muskegon, Michigan, though, but we was raised almost all our life in Quitman, Mississippi. I think some of my fondest memories from Muskegon at that early age would be just spending time with Pops, spending time with my daddy. And my Uncle Willie used to take us to Grand Rapids to go see the monster truck shows.
Yeah, the monster truck show. That shit, wow.
And
Me, you, and Dre.
Yeah, but what was the name of that truck though?
Man,
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Yeah. Uncle Willie, if you looking, we remember Uncle Willie.
Yeah. Dre used to go with us too.
Yeah,
Uncle
my
Willie
cousin
had
Andre would go with us.
that white car with the red interior. What was it, a Buick?
That was a Buick. He gave it to Dre.
Yeah, gave it to Dre.
Yep, it was a 2-door.
Right.
White with burgundy interior. And every birthday, Uncle Willie would always make sure all his nieces and nephews, whatever your age was, that's the money you got. And he still do that right now, I'm thinking.
Yeah, for the ones that are young kids,
Yep.
you know. Yeah,
And
sure.
my mama made sure that she wouldn't take us to, like, I remember going to Six Flags, Cedar Point, John Ballpark Zoo, but she had her friends take us to these places. My mama never did go.
Auntie. And Army took us to Six Flags.
What I know, okay.
Me, you, Ren Jr., William, and Ross. I think Ross is in here. Well, he was in here. Yeah, and Army took all of us to Six Flags in Atlanta.
I'm trying to remember who took us to Cedar Point.
We didn't see the point, but I know in Army took all of us to she did that.
Yep. So I remember that we went to those
Yeah,
places.
she took all 6 of us. Well, was it 5? No, that's 6. Me, you, William. Yep, Ross said, yes, sir. Me, you, William, Ross. Oh, 5. And Ren Jr. She had all 5 of us. We had a ball, too, boy.
Yeah, we had fun.
We had a ball. I still got some pictures from that.
And I guess the answer to the question about being raised up in Mississippi, I don't know. What's some of my fondest memories of?
Man, I hated Mississippi.
I just remember it was real hot. Real hot.
I hated Mississippi. So, I didn't hate what this is. I'm telling you. Okay, so let me rephrase that, because I know we got some Mississippians in. I love the people in Mississippi. Like, I mean, I love the people in Mississippi. Like, they were some of the best people, kindest, sweet people. But I hated it because I was away from my daddy. Like that was the hate with being in Mississippi. Now, the best part of being in Mississippi was granddaddy. My granddaddy was a hard-nosed, hard-ass, by the book. He was just a hard ass. But, man, when I look back on it now, man, I'm so thankful to have that man in my life.
He gave us life lessons.
For as long as I did. My granddaddy was the shit. My granddaddy is the original Billy Shanks. All right, we're going to get to that. But Muskegee, it was all about coming back to see Daddy, man. Get back with Daddy and Big Mama, like, yeah, it was on and pop. Okay. So, I'm going to skip number 6. We might come back to that, but I'm going to go to number 7. With Mom passing in 2022, did it make you realize how important family and staying connected really is?
Yeah.
Bet.
It made me feel, I felt bad because, you know, my mom was in Mississippi. I moved her to Mississippi back in 2013, moved her back down south.
Right.
And when she left, it helped her condition. It was a lot better for her because the climate, as far as the climate and stuff. My mom was on the verge of being on dialysis. And she had a few different things going on. But yeah.
That dialysis ain't no joke, man.
Yeah.
That's why I lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely staying connected, man. So like all our cousins here, definitely okay. So we in Michigan, mostly we got cousins on our mom's side here, but most of our daddy people is here. So in the summer, my people know all these other Gordon, like D, Corey, Cornell, Don, Ken, everybody. Like they already know. Like in the summer, I'm gonna throw 4 or 5 gatherers.
Yeah, big man.
And Marcus. Like, we gonna get together and we gonna party and have a good time, man, in the backyard. So got one coming up in a couple weeks that I'm gonna schedule in.
Larry.
Yup, Larry come down from Ludington. So I'm big on doing that, man, because not only them my cousins, man, them my brothers. You know what I'm saying? They call me like they need. Look, I'm there. Like I truly look at all of them like brothers, man, because we all that's left. Like every uncle is gone. Our daddy gone. Only uncle we got left is Uncle Monk, and so we got to cherish him, right? You know what I'm saying? Out of all the boys, so we got to represent for that side of the family, right?
And only girls we got left, aunties that we got left on this side is Aunt Nita and Aunt Willie Roof.
Right. So 3 of them left. I don't even want to lie and tell you how many kids Big Mama had, but was it over 10?
It was way over. It was over 10.
I believe it was over 10. So don't give me the line. It was a bunch of them. I want to say it was 13 of them, but I don't know the exact number. Yeah. So the next one. So this one's more so for me, but my brother can talk on it. So the name Billy Shanks has been passed down through 6 family members. What does carrying that family name mean to you? So really, that's a question for me. So at first, I hated it. Right? I hated it. I got my own reasons for hating it. Well, for hating it at the time. I ain't gonna elaborate. But anybody know me, my brother know a little bit of it. Ross know a little bit of it. But I'm gonna tell you why I cherish it now. Because it got my granddaddy blood on it. So just give you the breakdown. It's 6 Billy Shankses in our family, right? So we have 3 that spelled B-I-L-I-E, right? That's my granddaddy. That's me, and that's my son. So the issues I had with the Billy Shanks was the IE is supposed to be the girl with, right? And I had an issue with that for a long time. But then as I got older, I'm like, my granddaddy was one of the strongest niggas I knew. So I'm like, if his name was spelled IE, then shit, I must be blessed. So I named my son that. Now on the other side, you got my Uncle Joe. He B-I-L-Y. And then you got my cousin Pooh. And then his son, Lil Bill. So that's the other 3 Billy Shanks. So you got 3 with the IE and 3 with the Y. So it's 6 of us total in this family. All boys, all carrying the name, right? So that name probably gonna live on. I don't know if Lil Bill got any kids. My son's only 14, so but it'll be around for a while. Yeah. So number 9, as we've gotten older, what are some things you wish we talked about more as brothers?
Generational wealth.
Definitely.
How to come up with our own plan. How to come up with a plan to leave our kids something, or I would say just different strategies of how we play football, and I don't know. It's a whole bunch of stuff. It's a lot to be talking about, but
Man, definitely, I would say lean on each other more and talk more about how the loss of the parents affected us. I mean, I think we did it more with Mama, but when Daddy died, we didn't do it a lot. So for me, definitely over that course of 23 years now, 24, lean on each other more, from Daddy passing. Yeah. All right, so now that both parents are gone, what do you think our responsibility is to each other, to the next generation of our family?
to make sure our kids be raised upright. That's first and foremost.
Amen.
To make sure they both knew. They all knew our mama, but we have to talk our daddy.
Right.
We have to talk to them, tell them different memories and stuff. I wish we had videos to show them, but I'll show them different pictures, so they'll get an inkling of who my father really was. My father he was in the Marines. He was matter of fact, he was the boxing champion in the Marines. My daddy used to box. He was cold with these.
Hell of a football player.
Yep. Played varsity football from a freshman all the way up. That's on the high school team. No, he was I want to either say 8th grade or a freshman. He played varsity football.
All I know is the story about him knocking down a tree.
That was in the projects. Ran straight through a tree. And I think back then his coaches was Gene and Latris Sang. Back then.
Hey.
And probably Mr. Wilbur.
All I know, when you talk to the old heads, they said them EZL boys want nothing to mess with in the chicks.
Yeah.
They said you couldn't mess with them. They was too deep. Uncle Dad, Uncle Mohawk, my daddy, Uncle Rock, Uncle Monk. Yeah, it was too deep.
Wilson.
Uncle Wilson, too many brothers.
Uncle Lee Willis.
Uncle Lee Willis, yeah. So, yeah, man. So, it was just deep, man. I think our responsibility is the one to definitely leave a legacy for our kids, right? And I'm not talking about money and none of that. I'm talking about a legacy for them to be able to stand on, right? Giving them a backbone in this world, right? But what our parents taught us, teach them to go to the next level, right? I think, to me, every generation should get better. And so that's what we got to leave our kids, right? What's the next better for them? I'm real proud of my daughters. They doing good, and I think they learning a lot. Have learned a lot. Just to do that piece. So the closing question is: so if Mom and Dad could see us sitting here today, what do you think they would be most proud of? And what advice do you think they would give us moving forward?
Well, they'd definitely be proud that we ain't incarcerated.
Amen.
We both got good jobs.
Yeah. We might have been to jail, but we ain't never been to prison.
Take care of our kids.
We never went to jail.
Yeah, I went to jail before. So, I think they'd be proud of the fact that, like I said, I reiterate that we're not incarcerated. We still are respectful to our older people,
Right.
our elders. We don't really let our kids get out of pocket when it come to disrespecting they mamas.
True.
Because I don't play that with neither one of my kids. I get them quick. You ain't gonna disrespect your mama in front of me. I don't care what you think, what you gotta say. You better be yes ma'am, no ma'am, or you better say yes or no or something. Ain't no disrespect going on. Cause I feel like I'm still old school. I'm raising like my kid, like my mama raised me. If I put something on your plate, I need you to eat it all. Ain't no talking about you hungry, cause you gonna sit right there at the table till you finish that plate.
I remember one time, Mama made this nigga eat a whole pot of beans. We was living on 6th Street in the Heights, down from Charlene now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if something was going on. She had you in the hot shot, and she had to put a whole thing of beans.
We was standing in Granddaddy's house.
Yeah, we was in Granddaddy's house. Yeah, sure was.
No, that wasn't 6th Street. That was 7th Street.
Right, my bad, 7th Street.
Yeah, in the block up from Charlene.
On the west side, yeah, right off the Lenham.
Right by the railroad track.
Yeah, right by the railroad track.
Right where the old Seal Power was at.
Yeah. I think Mike ended up getting that house. But, yeah, so Whew. I think they would be most proud, man, that we are consistent men. You know, we ain't out here sucking and jiving, and you know,
We ain't out in the streets just getting in trouble.
right? That, you know what I'm saying? So
We ain't robbing, killing, stealing, robbing Peter to pay Paul.
right,
We live an everyday life just like the average person.
right. You know what I'm saying? Ain't broke, but ain't rich. So, you know, just
Just maintaining.
like everybody else. But I do think, I think the advice that my mama would give me right now, I think my mama would say she proud of me because, you know, some shit that I went through in the past, and now, emotionally, I mean, I'm probably the best I ever been. 40-something. And the last 4 or 5 years is the most I've ever been. And a lot of that is contribute, man, to my wife. Like, hands down, I'm gonna give a shout out to my wife, cause and one for her, I'm telling you, it's a lot of different shit that I'll be moving different. Everybody that know me in my circle that know that. So, hey, I'm gonna boost Karima every time I get. Okay. The second person I'm gonna boost, and I shouted him out last time, man, Pastor Durham, Mr. Durham, right? When I was in a time of need, man, I'm talking about not money, not I need somewhere to live. I'm talking about an emotional roller coaster, unstable. It was Pastor Mr. Durham who took me on his wing, counseled me, and got my mind back strong and got me back on track. But I was only able to do that because I was open and willing to what he was trying to teach me, right? And he taught me from the biblical sense. So it's good to go to counseling. There's nothing wrong with going to regular counseling. But what I'm gonna tell you though is, if you don't got the spiritual with it, all that others counseling you, that like for me, it doesn't. My opinion, it doesn't have the same effect. But when you get it and you get it from the biblical sense, I'm telling you, it open up your eyes, and when you open to it, I'm telling you, it'll change your whole thought process. So yeah, I'm still Billy, but way more thinking Billy, right? So that's my piece. As far as my daddy, I think my daddy would just be like right now. The advice he would give would be to listen, maintain your living and keep growing, literally. And I know daddy would be a monster with these kids. I'm telling you, I know it because I just know I could see him in his older age how he would be, man. I'm telling you, these kids would love my daddy. Like,
He always had his nieces and nephews.
that's what I'm saying. So
Always had us take us to the movies.
he always had everybody. Like literally, like okay, so for like both our parents, here's the comparison of our parents. Our mama was a big mama on my mama's side, right?
On the Shank side.
Right? And then my daddy was like that same type of figure, but just on our daddy's side.
On the Easier side.
Everybody gravitated to them on each side of the family. So, one thing in childhood, I'm gonna be honest with you, that I know I grew up with, that I had to get over was, I feel like we always had to share both our parents with our cousins, you know what I'm saying? Which ended up being like our siblings. But, you know, as a kid, it's natural to feel like that. When you get older, you understand how grateful and really how good that can be, right? Because that means we had great parents. That means there was something about them that gravitated people to them. You just don't find that in every person. So that's my 2 cents, man. We've been on this thing for a little minute. We started late. I appreciate y'all, man. Please tap in. Look at the stream. Some technical difficulties. I'm still working on it, man. Listen, I'm a work in progress. The DollaZone Chronicles is a work in progress. The DollaZone All is a work in progress, man. But I'm telling you, I'm going to master this thing, man. I'm not going to quit. I've invested a lot of time, a lot of paper into it. We started what's called a Dollar Lounge. That's going to be soon to come. We got some good things coming, man. So I wanted to get this segment with my brother in, you know what I'm saying, and do our thing, and then we just move on to the next, man. So y'all know me, I like to lead y'all with a little music, little queued up music. So I'm gonna find a little soft music, man, and lead y'all with that, man. And we're gonna be up off this thing. better at. Learn my stuff. Yeah. Ain't got my headphones on, so it might not be coming through there. Well, y'all might can hear that. Ain't no bit of it on my end. Yeah, it is playing. Alright, we out, y'all. Y'all be smooth. Appreciate y'all for tapping in.